That afternoon should have been etched in my memory as pure bliss. I'd poured my heart into every detail of the baby shower, transforming our modest backyard in Denver into a haven of soft pastels and twinkling lights, with a stunning three-tiered cake as the crowning jewel. Friends and family gathered, their laughter mingling with the scent of fresh flowers. And for once, I felt truly seen, truly celebrated. But then my sister, with that venomous smile she'd perfected over years of quiet dominance, stepped forward and declared, "You don't deserve this happiness." In one brutal motion, she slammed her hands into the cake, crushing it into oblivion right before my eyes. I didn't scream or cry, I just stood there, the pieces of frosting splattering my dress, while something inside me snapped. Not in despair, but in cold, calculated resolve. My name is Emily Hayes, and at 28, I thought I'd finally escaped the shadows that had haunted me since childhood. 7 months pregnant with our first child after 2 heartbreaking miscarriages, I worked as a graphic designer at Summit Creative, a boutique agency in downtown Denver specializing in branding for local startups. It wasn't a high-flying career, but it fed my soul, the rush of turning ideas into visuals, the collaborative buzz in our open-plan office overlooking the Rockies. My husband, Jack Riley, was the steady anchor in my chaotic world, a high school history teacher with a gentle demeanor and a passion for coaching the debate team. He drove an old Subaru Outback, preferred hiking boots to dress shoes, and had a way of making me laugh even on my darkest days. We'd met at a community art fair, bonded over bad coffee and shared dreams of a simple life. And after those losses that left us both raw and questioning everything, this pregnancy felt like a hard-won gift from the universe. But in the Hayes family, joy was always conditional, laced with comparisons that cut deeper than any knife. My older sister, Sophia, at 31, had been the untouchable star, the one who aced every test, landed every scholarship, and climbed the corporate ladder with effortless grace. While I pieced together freelance gigs through community college, she powered through a top-tier business degree at Stanford. Our parents, retired accountants who'd built a comfortable nest egg through careful investments, never outright favored her. But the favoritism hung in the air like fog thick, inescapable. "Emily's making her way," Dad would say at holiday dinners, that hesitant tone implying I was always a step behind. But Sophia just sealed a deal with that Fortune 500 client, front-page news in the business section. I'd learned to swallow it, to redirect conversations to Jack's latest student success stories or our weekend escapes to the trails. Sophia, though, wielded her superiority like a weapon, masking it as tough love or real talk. "Are you sure you're ready for motherhood on a teacher's salary?" she'd probed when I shared the news over a tense family brunch. Kids drain everything: time, money, sanity. I mean, no offense, but have you really planned for that? Jack had squeezed my hand under the table, his quiet strength steadying me. "We've got this," he'd said. Sophia's laugh had been light, but her eyes sharp. "Of course. You'll manage somehow." The implication stung. People like us scraped by, while she soared. Our upbringing in a tidy suburb of Aurora had been a masterclass in subtle inequality. Sophia got the prime bedroom with the bay window, the elaborate Sweet 16 party, the family car first because she was more responsible. I inherited the worn clothes, the offhand comments like, "Emily tries her best," and the perpetual feeling of chasing a shadow that grew longer with each of her achievements. I'd built walls around it, convinced myself I'd outgrown the hurt. I had Jack, who saw my quirks as strengths. I had a circle of friends from work and our neighborhood book club who valued me for me, not in contrast to her. And now, this baby, a fierce little fighter whose kicks reminded me daily of my own resilience. The pregnancy had tested me, endless nausea. A scare at 20 weeks that had us rushing to the ER. Convinced history was repeating itself. But at 7 months, with my body finally embracing the changes, I felt an unshakable power. Creating life trumped any boardroom victory Sophia could claim. That's why the baby shower wasn't just an event, it was my stand, a testament to the life I'd forged despite the doubts. Yet Sophia had always excelled at erosion, chipping away at confidence with comments that lingered like bruises. Lately, her barbs had sharpened, questioning my bohemian nursery choices, hinting that my freelance side gigs wouldn't cover daycare. Even suggesting over coffee that some women just aren't wired for the chaos of kids. It's okay to admit it. I'm wired just fine, I'd shot back, forcing a smile. Her response? A pitying tilt of her head. If you say so. Just don't say I didn't warn you. The signs of her brewing storm had piled up like unread messages. Calls increased as the shower neared, each laced with faux concern. Don't overdo the decorations, stress could trigger another incident. She meant the miscarriages, weaponizing my pain. Then, at a family dinner 2 weeks prior, she'd arrived in her sleek Mercedes, critiquing my casual sweater while boasting about her latest promotion at Apex Consulting, a high-end firm advising tech moguls. When talk turned to the shower, she'd murmured, "Hope it's not too ambitious for you. Events like that can flop if you're not used to the spotlight." Jack had defended me, but the seed of doubt sprouted anyway. That night, insomnia gripped me. Jack found me in the half-finished nursery, tracing the hand-painted mural of mountain scenes I'd designed myself. "She's burrowing under your skin again," he said softly. "Always has." I confessed the old wounds, like my college graduation party, where Sophia announced her Stanford acceptance midway through my toast, stealing the light as everyone fawned over her. "This time's different," he vowed. "This is ours." But doubt crept in deeper when, days before the shower, I overheard her on a call at our parents' house while dropping off borrowed chairs. Her voice drifted from the open window. "Emily's little party? Pathetic. She's deluding herself thinking a baby fixes her mediocrity. Remember how she lost the last one? Reality's going to hit hard." Her laugh chilled me. "I'll make sure she gets the wake-up call she needs. Call it sisterly mercy." I fled, heart pounding, the betrayal sinking in like poison. "Cancel?" Jack suggested later. "No," I insisted, a steel forming in my core. "I've shrunk from her too long. This ends." The final preparations became my armor. I obsessed over the cake, a vanilla masterpiece with edible wildflowers symbolizing growth, and turned the backyard into a whimsical escape with fairy lights and handmade banners. Dread mixed with defiance, I knew she plotted. But so did I, silently vowing not to shatter. The day dawned crisp and inviting, Denver's sun casting a golden glow. Guests trickled in, colleagues from Summit, Jack's fellow teachers, neighbors, a few cousins. The air buzzed with warmth, games, stories, genuine cheers for our future. Parents arrived. Mom with a registry gift. Dad chatting renovations with Jack. For a fleeting hour, it felt perfect. Then Sophia swept in late, her designer ensemble screaming entitlement, a generic gift bag in hand. "Traffic," she lied, air-kissing cheeks, commandeering conversations. Jack whispered, "Breathe. She's just noise." The party flowed, prediction games, a slideshow of ultrasound pics set to music. Joy swelled until cake time. I stood with Jack, the crowd circling, phones poised. Sophia edged forward. "A word first," she purred, voice slicing the air. Murmurs hushed. "My dear sister," she began, disdain dripping. always chasing dreams too big for her grasp. Some are born for greatness, others pretend a baby will make them whole. Gasps rippled. Enough, Jack growled. But she advanced. Eyes locked on mine. Hatred bare. You couldn't hold the first. What makes you worthy now? With deliberate cruelty, she plunged her hands into the cake, smashing layers, flowers pulverizing under her grip until only ruin remained. Silence choked the yard. Guests froze, Mom gasped. Dad flushed. Jack tensed for confrontation. But I met her gaze and smiled, genuine. I see. In her splattered triumph, she'd handed me liberation, permission to unleash the rage I'd silenced for decades. Backup desserts it is, I said evenly, shattering the stasis. Friends rallied, diverting attention. But the wound festered beneath. Sophia lingered, expecting my collapse. But as disgust mounted around her, she fled under Dad's order. The party limped on, kindness amplified by pity. But inside, my mind whirred. Later, alone with Jack, I pieced it. Her recklessness screamed desperation. Texts poured in support. Outrage. One from a colleague. Lisa, heard your sister's startup pitch bombed at Venture Peak last week. Total mess. Curiosity ignited. That night, I delved. Sophia's social feeds hyped her new consulting firm. But posts halted post-pitch. Forums buzzed with whispers, faked metrics. Lost clients. She'd been fired months ago from Apex for botched deals. Poured savings into a crypto flop that vanished. Broke. Unraveling. She'd lashed out to drag me down. The old Emily would forgive. Seek peace. But this betrayal, public. Vicious. While I carried life, forged something darker. She's using our names, Lisa texted next. Claiming family investments to lure backers. Fury boiled. I created anonymous accounts. Gathered dirt, unpaid vendors. Stolen ideas. A $40,000 scam on a retiree. Victims connected via my subtle nudges. Jack watched warily. This isn't you. It is now, I replied. She broke something irreplaceable. The plan crystallized, no smears. Just truth amplified at her grand launched event, a networking gala at the Ritz-Carlton. Her Hail Mary for investors. I orchestrated shadows, invitations to her victims, the designer she stiffed, the colleague she plagiarized, the scammed retiree. Venture Peak execs. Tipped off for entertainment. Reputable partners she'd falsely claimed. Furious and attending to confront. Even Jack's journalist friend, Mia, posed as a guest to document. My 8-month checkup confirmed the baby's health. But tension knotted me. Avoid stress, the doctor warned. Too late, this was catharsis. The night before. Sophia's post gloated, tomorrow. I redefined success. I almost pitted her blindness. At the gala. Belly prominent in black silk. I blended in. Jack studied me, last chance to back out. No. Sophia dazzled. Pitching illusions. Then chaos unfurled, the designer flashed evidence. The colleague exposed theft. The retiree demanded repayment. Partners denounced her lies, venture execs mocked her fraud. The ballroom erupted, phones recording. Accusations flying. Mia captured it, comment on the fraud. MS. Haze. Sophia's eyes found mine, realization dawned like terror. I toasted her silently, exiting amid the storm. Aftermath hit like aftershocks. Mia's article exploded, consulting fraud exposed in public meltdown. Lawsuits mounted, Sophia fled to Seattle. Barista by day. Ghosts of scandal trailing. Parents called. Apologetic, we enabled her cruelty, we see you now. A package arrived, a check for damages. Note, you win. I burned it, whispering, "No winners here." I'd lost innocence, gained scars from vengeance's edge. But as labor brought our son, Liam, into the world screaming, perfect, I held him, snow blanketing Denver outside, Jack's arms enveloping us. Pity stirred for Sophia's hollow life, but no regret. The cycle shattered, my family real, untainted, thrived in the quiet aftermath. Revenge's price? A hardened heart, but one finally free.